to College Football Game Night, presented by Quality Fence of Southern Oregon.
Welcome back. We are kicking off the championship highlights with a regular season rematch between the number 4 USC Trojans and the number 11 ranked Utah Utes. And these two teams played last night.
When these two teams met earlier this season, the Utah Utes beat the Trojans 43-42 in Salt Lake City. And going into last night, all eyes were on Caleb Williams and his lead on his team and possibly bring them to victory. But the Utes had a different plan.
The 11th ranked Utah Utes took the field to take on the number 4 ranked USC Trojans at Allegiant Stadium for the Pac-12 championship. Here we go. We start in the first quarter. Caleb Williams gets a snap. He fades back in the pocket and launches the ball downfield to wide open Taj Washington for the 49-yard reception, putting USC in scoring position. Next play up, Williams hits Washington for the payoff, and that puts the Trojans on the board first, 7-0. The Utes settle for a field goal and the Trojans still lead 7-3. Still in the first, Williams gets the snap and he keeps it for himself, showing how mobile and dynamic he can be on the ground. The Utes could not stop Williams and he runs it 59 yards, getting the Trojans just inside the 5-yard line. And later in the drive, Williams hits Rayleigh Brown for the 3-yard touchdown. So USC is going to extend their lead 14-3. We're going to head into the second quarter now. USC leads 17-3, but Utah's Jaquin Jackson gets the handoff from Cam Rising, hits the ground running for the 8-yard touchdown, 17-10. With under 10 seconds remaining in the half, Rising steps up and hits Jalen Dixon for the 4-yard touchdown pass. And we are tied at 17 heading to the half.
We head into the third. Rising hits Money Parks right on the target, and Parks gets loose for the 57-yard touchdown run. And Utah takes their first lead of the night, 24-17. Still in the third, Rising coming back. He keeps it for himself and takes a huge hit from Raylan Goffworth. Gets his helmet popped off. We saw this hit way too many times on SportsCenter last night. The play would not be called for targeting, and we keep rolling. Utah leads USC, trying to rally. Williams finds Mario Williams, who finds the end zone. Rising down. What does he do best? Flings it downfield, finding Thomas Yasmin. He breaks the tackle and fights his way into the end zone for a 60-yard score. Utah extends their lead 34-24. Just over 5 minutes remaining. Jackson gets the handoff from Rising, finds his way through the sea of players, takes it off 53 yards to the house. Utah goes up 40-24. After a Caleb Williams fumble, Micah Bernard puts the game away with a 23-yard touchdown run. And let the celebration begin as Utah wins their second Pac-12 championship.
And the final score of last night's Pac-12 championship at Allegiant Stadium was 47-24 Utah Utes. A huge performance for Cameron Rising yesterday. He went 22 of 34 with 310 yards and 3 touchdowns with no interceptions. Jaquin Jackson rushed for 105 yards on 13 carries with 2 touchdowns, and Money Parks had 4 receptions for 88 yards with 2 touchdowns. And the Utah Utes are back-to-back champs in the Pac-12. So here is a look inside the Utah locker room after their big win.
Hey, how about that, fellas? How about that? Unbelievable job. Never doubted, as Cam said, unwavering belief. Great job by all you guys. You're warriors. Everyone in this room's a warrior. Appreciate the heck out of you guys. Speechless how proud I am of you and the staff and what you guys accomplished. Had our back against the wall, battled adversity, we're resilient, did everything we needed to do, and we're going back to the Rose Bowl.
Today, the SEC champions featured the number 14 LSU Tigers versus the number 1 reigning national champs, the Georgia Bulldogs.
Regardless of what happened in today's game, there was no comeback for the LSU Tigers after losing to the unranked Texas A&M Aggies last weekend. But a win today would give either team momentum into their next destination.
The beautiful Mercedes-Benz Stadium hosting the SEC championship between Georgia and LSU. We start in the first with a crazy way to start these highlights. Damian Ramos attempts the 39-yard field goal, but blocks it at the line. Is the play over? Nope. Smith picks it up and runs it 95 yards to the house for the touchdown, and Georgia takes the lead 7-0. Those Bulldogs sure do know how to run. And we're going to stay in the first. Jaden Daniels sits for a little and then fries Booty on the crossing route. Booty turns upfield, shedding a couple tackles, and he's in 59 yards for the touchdown. LSU ties it up at 7. Georgia with the ball now. Stenson Bennett finds Brock Bowers across the middle and trucks through a few defenders on the way to a 32-yard gain. Georgia on the board. Next play up, Stenson Bennett finds Bowers in the end zone for the short touchdown, and Bulldogs reclaim the lead 14-7.
We head to the second quarter. Bennett finds Ladd McConkey over the middle for the 22-yard touchdown, and LSU has no answer for it. Bulldogs lead 21-7. UGA up 28-14. Bennett finds McConkey on the receiver screen, and he heads up the sideline for a gain of 22 yards. Next play, Benton rolls out of the pocket, and he finds Dylan Bell in the end zone for the touchdown. The Bulldogs head into half with a 4-touchdown lead. We head into the third. UGA leads 35-10. Garrett Nousmere is in for Jaden Daniels. He finds Malik Neighbors for the LSU touchdown. Still in the third, UGA leads 42-17. LSU in scoring position. Noah Kane gets the handoff and bodies his way into the end zone for the LSU touchdown. 42-23 UGA. UGA finds a way to get on the board again, but they get the 2-point conversion. UGA leads 50-23. LSU still fighting. Nousmere escapes the sack. He goes deep to the end zone and finds a wide open Jeray Jenkins. And LSU finds their way on the scoreboard one more time, but it would not be enough to end the game with an SEC championship win.
And the final of the championship was 50-30 Georgia. They take their win for the first time since 2017. Stenson Bennett went 23 of 29 with 274 passing yards and 4 touchdowns. Kendall Milton rushed for 113 yards on 8 carries, and Brock Bowers had 6 receptions for 81 yards and 1 touchdown. The number 1 ranked Georgia Bulldogs are still undefeated this season. Here's what head coach Kirby Smart said after the game.
Our team kind of played this game like they played the whole season. Unbelievably well in spurts, unbelievably poor in spurts, and answered the bell when they had to. And I'm proud of them. They've handled that all year. I want to give a lot of credit to Brian Kelly and the LSU team that never went away, never quit fighting, had an injured quarterback, and they did a really good job of fighting and pushing through. But this has been a different group, you know, and you guys have tried to label them and try to figure them out and try to analyze them. They're not comprehensible.
Now to the Big 12 championship between the TCU Horned Frogs and the Kansas State Wildcats. The Horned Frogs have surprised many this year, coming off a 5-7 record last year to being undefeated and ranked 3rd in the college football playoff rankings this year. It has been so fun to watch.
It's been a crazy one for sure, and they haven't been anything special in the past few years, but Max Duggan came alive this year, and he's done quite the job leading his team this far. Could the Hypno-Toads make it work today?
Let's find out. AT&T Stadium in Dallas, Texas, the site of the Big 12 championship between Kansas State and TCU. Here we go. We're going to start in the first quarter. TCU in scoring position. Max Duggan with the sidearm sling hits Tay Barber for the short yardage touchdown. TCU goes up 7-0. Just seconds left in the first. K-State QB Will Howard rolls out of the pocket, flips it in the flat, and hits Ben Sinnott with the diving touchdown. Second quarter, KSU sets the jet motion in sweep, and they get into the end zone.
We head into the third quarter. Howard has some time in the pocket. He launches it down the field, and it's another touchdown. Still in the third, K-State punt return. Phillip Brooks fumbles the ball, and the Horned Frogs, Trent Battle, recovers it. It's TCU's ball. A few plays later, TCU capitalizes their field position, and Kendre Miller finds the end zone with a 6-yard touchdown run. The score is now 21-17. Fourth quarter, TCU in scoring position, but Duggan is intercepted in the end zone. With the ball back, K-State Deuces gets the handoff and rumbles 44 yards to the house, barely being touched. His coaches fired up. K-State extend their lead 28-17. After a field goal, gets down with a touchdown. TCU evens the score as a potential Heisman candidate. Max Duggan runs this one in, and the Horned Frogs complete the 2-point conversion. We head into overtime. TCU tries to punch it in a touchdown on 4th and goal, but the Wildcats defense holds up. That defensive stop makes their way for a field goal to win the game, and the celebration begins for the number 10 K-State Wildcats as they defeat the number 3 TCU Horned Frogs in the Big 12 championship.
What a game that was. The final in the Dr. Pepper Big 12 Championship was 31-28 in overtime. Heisman candidate Max Duggan went 18 of 36 for 251 passing yards and 110 rushing yards on 15 carries. And Will Howard threw nearly 200 yards, but it was the help of Deuce Vaughn and his 44-yard touchdown run that gave the Cats the lead and the motivation to win. Here's what TCU's head coach, Sonny Dykes, had to say about his team after their first loss this season.
We went through the Big 12, 12-0. We've been able to figure out ways to win games like this all year, and, today we weren't able to do it. And so I think, I think we're certainly deserving. I think the league is one of the best leagues in the country to go through undefeated in the league. Certainly we ought to get in. I don't think we should be punished for coming to the Big 12 championship game. We were 3 last week. My hope is that we would stay at 3 and, go tee it up and see how we do.
Well, coming up, we're going to take a look at this Michigan game, plus more. We have lots of conference championship games still to cover. You're watching College Football Game Night.
College Football Game Night, presented by Quality Fence of Southern Oregon.
Sam's Jewelers is Medford's premier wedding and engagement destination. With Southern Oregon's largest variety of men's wedding bands and women's diamond engagement rings, you're sure to find something special for your partner. This holiday season, any purchase of $750 or more will get you a complimentary cruise for 2 included with your purchase. Make this holiday season extra special at Sam's Jewelers, located upper level at the Rogue Valley Mall.
Why should your new floor come from Lippard's Carpet One? Because we're passionate about the spaces our neighbors call home. We're part of the world's largest cooperative of independently owned flooring stores, so you can be sure you'll get great selection at a great price. We take the guesswork out of helping you choose the right floor. Right now, save up to 50% on wood, laminate, and waterproof plank, plus pay no interest for 12 months at the one store for your perfect floor, Lippard's Carpet One, Medford and Grants Pass.
Quality Fences, doing it right for you. Just ask your neighbor.
They reflect a style as unique as you are. They make first impressions. They provide space, add lasting beauty, and security. Quality is a reflection of who you are. That's why all your fencing projects begin here.
Quality Fences, doing it right for you.
Santa has landed at the 38th Annual Klamath Snowflake Festival. We're celebrating superhero holidays with events like the Santa Dinner, Snowflake Mile, and of course the Klamath Snowflake Festival Parade, December 8th at 7 p.m. on Main Street in Klamath Falls, honoring our 2022 Grand Marshal Krista Crone. A special thanks to all of our sponsors, event holders, and volunteers. The award-winning Klamath Snowflake Festival. Visit klamathsnowflake.com or call for more information.
Welcome back to College Football Game Night, presented by Quality Fence of Southern Oregon.
Welcome back to College Football Game Night. Peyton, let's talk about this Big Ten matchup that just ended between the number 2 Michigan Wolverines and the unranked Purdue Boilermakers.
This Michigan team is legit this year, undefeated and, like you said, ranked number 2. Their natty hopes were crushed last year by Georgia, but the UMich team this year is more experienced and very deep. J.J. McCarthy has been great in the QB position, and Blake Corum broke out as one of the best running backs in the nation before he got hurt. So let's see how this matchup played out.
Purdue getting ready to take on the undefeated Michigan Wolverines. Winner gets the Big Ten title. You guessed it, right into the first we go. J.J. McCarthy completes it to Colston Loveland for the first touchdown of the night. Michigan's up 7-0. Purdue's turn now. Will they take it? Aiden O'Connell tries to hand it off, but he hits the backfield for a 4-yard loss. Michigan struggling a little still in the first. Tracy right behind O'Connell snags the ball and picks up a nice easy gain of 20 yards to set Purdue up in the red zone. Purdue now is going to knock on the door. Devin McCovey pushes his way through the line and he's in for the touchdown. We're tied at 7s now.
Now into the second and 8. O'Connell fumbles on the handoff, but he falls right back on top of the ball and Purdue recovers. And Purdue is going to punch this one in from 33 yards out. It's ran right through the uprights, 10-7 Purdue. 2nd and 5 for Michigan now. J.J. McCarthy drops back. He finds Ronnie Bell. And what a catch this is. He picks up 20 yards for the Wolverines.
Michigan in the red zone. McCarthy scrambling, looking, finding Shoemaker for the 7-yard touchdown. 14-10, Michigan in the lead. Under 2 minutes left before we head into the half, and Fine ran again, this time from 45 yards out. 14-13, Wolverines heading into the locker room.
And the final in the Big Ten Championship tonight, 43-22. The Michigan Wolverines remain undefeated. J.J. McCarthy went 11 of 17 for 161 passing yards, 3 touchdowns with 1 interception. Donovan Edwards had 185 rushing yards on 25 carries, and Michigan takes home the Big Ten Championship.
And over in the ACC, the Clemson Tigers took on the North Carolina Tar Heels for the championship title.
Both teams lost to unranked opponents last weekend. The Tigers lost to the South Carolina Gamecocks, and the Tar Heels lost to the NC State Wolfpack.
Those losses pushed them down in the rankings, so let's see how the number 10 Clemson Tigers did against the number 23 UNC Tar Heels. Before Clemson and North Carolina took the field for the ACC championship, the victims of the shooting at the University of Virginia were honored with a moment of silence. And it was such a memorable one. We'll start in the first quarter. No score. UNC Drake May sneaks into the end zone on the quarterback keeper and scores a 3-yard run. The Tar Heels take the lead first. But here comes Clemson. Clemson's Cade Kubnik hits David Allen on the edge of the end zone for the 1-yard touchdown pass. We're tied at 7 after a UNC fumble. Phil Moff hits the ground running for a 4-yard touchdown, giving Clemson the lead.
Second quarter now. Klubnik gets the snap and hits the pocket. He sits in the pocket, before he goes deep to Cole Turner. Turner is rumbling, bumbling, and he's stumbling. Turner and the ref both go down, but the Tigers find themselves in the UNC 1-yard line. Next play up, though, Klubnik keeps it for himself, and he walks into the end zone for another Clemson touchdown. The Tigers will lead 21-10 heading into half.
The final of the game, 39-10, Clemson wins their 7th ACC championship. Klubnik threw for almost 300 passing yards with 30 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns, 1 in the air and 1 on the ground. UNC had 3 turnovers, and that ultimately gave Clemson the victory. And you know, Peyton, we were laughing all day today and on air about that one shot, the player just stumbling, and then the ref goes down. I mean, talk about effort. Talk about effort.
And
he got
poor ref.
Got to the end zone. That's all that matters, right, for the Clemson Tigers.
Moving on from that, though, for the second time in less than a month, the UFC Knights took on the Tulane Green Wave for the AAC championship title.
Back in November, Tulane beat the Knights 38-31 at home. But although this matchup features the same teams and will be at the same venue, it's a different game.
Right, Maddie, it is. And it was, because it is always hard to beat the same team twice. So let's check out those highlights. We'll jump right into the first quarter on this one. Shea Wyatt's 10-yard pass is complete to Michael Pratt, and he finds the end zone. Touchdown, Tulane. They'll get on the board first, 7-0. Still in the first quarter, though, it's 3rd and 5. But the Green Wave will take it more than just 5 yards. Wyatt finds Deuce Watts, and he says, deuces. He takes this one 54 yards to the Knights' 8-yard line, and it's a first down for Tulane.
The Knights will try to come back. They're knocking on the castle door. Xavier Townsend snags the handoff, and he hits the corner, finds the gap, jukes the defender, and into the end zone. First UCF touchdown of the day. It's 10-7, Tulane. Now deep into the second, Wyatt steps back and finds Lawrence Keys, the third, and swoop by. See you later. He's in for 43 yards to the end zone. It's another one for the Green Wave. This place was a game changer for the outcome of the Tulane. Now in the third, Green Wave still had the lead. Spears gets the ball, breaks some tackles, and jabs at a few ankle breakers we got going on here. Look at that play. I would have been on the ground. Defenders still following him to the house. 60-yard run for Tulane. They'll take this one away.
And the final out at Newman Stadium was 45-28 Green Wave. Tulane's Michael Pratt ran an 18-yard touchdown in to help his team win the title. He also finished 6 yards short of 400 passing yards today and threw for 4 touchdowns, nearly 200 more than UCF's Rhys Plumlee. Along with Pratt, Shea Wyatt's 60-yard haul to the house showed why Tulane has remained in the rankings this season.
And playing for the Mountain West Championship title, the Fresno State Bulldogs took on the Boise State Broncos.
Today's game marked the 4th Mountain West title game between the Broncos and the Bulldogs on the blue since 2014.
And when these two teams met earlier this season, it was the Broncos who came out on top with a dominating 40-20 win over the Bulldogs. Let's see who got that trophy today, though. And Elvises are in the house for this game. Peyton, I didn't know Elvis had 3 twins with blue hair.
Neither did I. That's cool to see.
Really supporting the Broncos out there. Love the Elvis. Well, let's start in the second. Fresno State gets the punt return, and it's off to the races for this one. Nico Remington takes this one 70 yards. You're right, 70 to the end zone. The Bulldogs' first score of the game, and this is why investing in a good special teams core is so important. Fresno State showing that. And then Boise will get the ball back, and Green is looking for his guy, but finds Cameron Lockridge instead. He snags it and takes it 25 yards to the Broncos' 17-yard line.
Now Fresno State is going to be in the red zone right before half. A long lob from Hayner to Jordan Mimis, and he runs this one in for the quick 2-yard touchdown. Boise tries to get back on the board, but Fresno is still in the lead, 14-6, heading into the locker room. We're going to jump into the fourth quarter now. Jake Hayner completes it to Zane Pope for the 22-yard touchdown pass. A long haul, but Fresno isn't done just yet. They'll score one more before the end of the game. And Coach Tedford is mobile in the pocket when it comes to the Gatorade bath.
The final on the blue field of Albertson Stadium, 28-16 Fresno State. Jake Hayner finished 17 of 27 for 184 yards, and the Broncos' Taylon Green left with 175 passing yards. Boise State was undefeated in conference play, while Fresno State had one loss. But the Broncos' 2 turnovers cost them the game to the Bulldogs.
I couldn't be prouder, really. The staff, the players, the belief, it's been awesome. Well, that's it. You know, the perseverance and the belief early on, those guys provide such great leadership. But along the way, we need other people to step up too. And they did. And I couldn't be prouder to end the season like this. Our players really deserve it.
Coming up, we'll take a look at those playoff rankings and give you our thoughts. Surprising on what we think about the rankings will look like tomorrow. You're watching College Football Game Night.
College Football Game Night, presented by Quality Fence of Southern Oregon.
This is the time of year we celebrate family, traditions, and great food. At Abby's, we've been bringing people together for nearly 60 years. Our legendary pizzas are so giant that they feed up to 6 family members. When you're ready for a break from cooking, our family is here for your family.
Owning a small business is kind of a big deal. State Farm agent Rory Wold can help you find the right insurance coverage at the right price. Call Rory for a quote today. Golden Gems Fine Jewelry would like to say thank you for your support after the Ashland Plaza fire with an inventory reduction sale. Our new stunning inventory has arrived, and it's time for you to save on select remaining items: rings, pendants, bracelets, earrings, and more. Save up to 30, 40, even 50%. Get your holiday shopping done now during the inventory reduction sale, exclusively at Golden Gems Fine Jewelry on the Plaza, downtown Ashland, or at goldengems.com.
Nothing brings new life to your home like hardwood flooring. For a limited time, No Frills Flooring has pre-finished hickory hardwood on sale. Durable hand-scraped hickory with a 25-year warranty. Not for $4.99 or $3.99, but an unheard of $2.99 a square foot. Hurry, quantities are limited, so you've got to move fast. Hickory hardwood on sale only at No Frills Flooring. Factory direct savings and warehouse selection for contractors. And you too. Medford and Grants Pass.
Well, we just wanted to define our property. We got 1.25 acres and just wanted to make it stand out. Also, I think increases the value of our property a lot. Turned out great, very professional. It was outstanding quality and outstanding service.
I feel like we live in a park, and it would be the equivalent of having a Monet unframed. Once you put the fence up, you framed the picture. Couldn't be more beautiful. I wouldn't change a thing.
Quality Fences, doing it right for you.
Welcome to the Kitchen Company, providing a wide variety of beautiful and delightful gifts for every kitchen. From the beginner to the professional chef, this holiday season, you're in good company at the Kitchen Company. Downtown Grants Pass.
It's back at Abby's. Bacon, bacon, cheddar! With Canadian bacon, country bacon, and real cheddar cheese toppings to the edge, nothing tops this famous pizza. Available for a limited time at a very special holiday price. And when you give the gift of Abby's, we'll give you a present too. You're welcome.
Welcome back to College Football Game Night, presented by Quality Fence of Southern Oregon.
We are almost to the end of our show, so we thought we should break down the playoff brackets, especially after we know how these games turned out today.
Things got wacky this weekend, to say the least, but let's look at where the teams sit before tomorrow's new bracket is released.
Coming in at number 1 is the Georgia Bulldogs. They're undefeated this season, and they beat LSU today.
Number 2 is the Michigan Wolverines, who are also undefeated and beat Purdue today. Below them is at number 3 is the TCU Horned Frogs, who took their first loss of the season against K-State.
The USC Trojans sit at number 4, and if they had not lost yesterday, it might have been the first Pac-12 team to make it to the playoffs.
Below those top 4 sit Ohio State, Bama, and Tennessee.
And what I would say to the committee or anyone else is if we played any of these teams that are on the edge or getting in, would we be the underdog or would we be the favorite?
Well, the GOAT saying it best. Coach Saban on Fox Sports tonight talking about if he was to play a top 4 team, would they be the underdog or would they be the favorite?
Right, which leads into my question for you, Maddie. What is your top 4 going to look like tomorrow?
You know, with USC losing, they're probably going to be out, and then it looks like TCU is also going to be out, and it's sad for the Horned Frogs, especially Max Duggan carrying that team all the way to an undefeated season, but it's just going to have to be a battle of the best. So my top 4, and I'm declaring it here, Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, and Alabama.
Oh, wow. So TCU's going out for you.
Unfortunately, I don't think they'll put them in.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you, Peyton?
I am on the same wavelength, but I don't know if the committee is going to agree because Alabama does have 2 losses. Ohio State only has 1. TCU only has 1.
Tennessee only has 1.
Yes. So my top 4, as hard as it is for me to say, Georgia, Michigan, TCU, Ohio State.
No Alabama.
I know.
You didn't tell me that in the newsroom.
I know, because the more that I've thought about it, the more that I'm thinking you can't put a 2-loss team into the playoffs. But that's where I get conflicting views because I'm also like, well, do we want to put TCU up against a team like Georgia and have it be a blowout? Or do we want to put Georgia and Alabama up against each other and have it be a good game? Because if Alabama sees Georgia again, I think that we can both agree that it would be a different game than it was last year.
You also have to consider Alabama's losses were last-minute losses to really high-ranked teams, like Coach Saban said on Fox tonight. So you got to consider, is that a worse loss than TCU losing to K-State in the final seconds? Things like that. I think the committee is going to be thinking a lot tomorrow when the brackets do come out at 9 a.m.
And I hope they do think long and hard about it because
it's important.
I would love to see Alabama in the top 4. I just don't know. It's so hard to say.
We would love to see a Pac team in the top 4 too, but unfortunately I don't think that's going to be the outcome.
Definitely. And if you have any thoughts on what you think the top 4 might look like, send it in. We would love to see your thoughts and maybe put it into our show.
A little healthy debate doesn't hurt anyone, right? Especially on our final game night. It's always a fun one.
Yes, it is. Well, coming up on College Football Game Night, we'll take a look at the Cascade Christian Challengers state title win last week. Stick around. You're watching College Football Game Night.
College Football Game Night, presented by Quality Fence of Southern Oregon.
This is the time of year we celebrate family, traditions, and great food. At Abby's, we've been bringing people together for nearly 60 years. Our legendary pizzas are so giant that they feed up to 6 family members. When you're ready for a break from cooking, our family is here for your family.
This business showcase is presented by Superfly Martini Bar and Grill.
Superfly Martini Bar and Grill is located at 623 Memory Lane here in Brookings, Oregon. We're open 7 days a week and we serve lunch Monday through Friday. And on Saturday and Sunday, you gotta come in and try our brunch. Superfly Martini Bar and Grill is known for its premium potato vodka, fast, fun environment, good vibes, and great customer service. So when you come into Superfly, you're going to see awesome pictures on the wall of our vodka distilling process. You're also going to see our merch, and we sell sweatshirts, t-shirts, tank tops, all with our Superfly logo on them. Superfly is most known for its chicken bacon taters. It's a very unique menu item. It's made with a couple tortillas, our Superfly sauce, and then we put chicken, French fries that are hand cut, and bacon on top, and you can get more sauce on the side and you're gonna want it. Also, our wedge salad. It's a half of an iceberg wedge with blue cheese dressing, topped with bacon, more blue cheese crumbles, onions, and tomatoes. And then we also have our seared tuna. Has the yakisoba noodles with the mai ploy sauce, seared ahi tuna on top, served with wasabi, ginger, and soy sauce. So we do have some exciting things going on. We have a new chef who's working on putting out daily specials, and we have our new happy hour menu. People love to come to Superfly because it's a family-friendly environment. We want each customer to have an amazing experience and feel important because they are.
It's back at Abby's. Bacon, bacon, cheddar! With Canadian bacon, country bacon, and real cheddar cheese toppings to the edge, nothing tops this famous pizza. Available for a limited time at a very special holiday price. And when you give the gift of Abby's, we'll give you a present too. You're welcome.
Welcome back to College Football Game Night, presented by Quality Fence of Southern Oregon.
Welcome back to College Football Game Night. Last week, the undefeated Cascade Christian Challengers dominated the Kennedy Trojans in the 3A state championships with a final score of 41-6.
Peyton and I made it out to Lithia and Driveway Fields earlier this week to talk with head coach John Getman, quarterback Keith Reed, and star running back Cameron Ragu on how they were feeling after becoming the champions. 5 years in the making, and Cascade Christian won the state championship.
And they won that state championship going 13-0 under head coach John Getman.
And a roster full of talent.
It's exciting. It's exciting for the kids, for the work that they put in. You just try to show them, use a game of football to show them, what work does, that the work that they pay in, sometimes it pays off and sometimes it doesn't, but you get to show them, here's a great example where it does, all the work that you put in. The assistant coaches, Coach Sean running the defense, the work that he put in, you're just, happy for those guys and happy for what they put in and thankful for the time that they put in.
The Challengers haven't won a state title since 2017, and this season they hold the title and a 13-0 record.
It was just free and easy. I didn't want to get all tensed up. I just wanted to go out and play and just play that last game with the fellas. Just get out there and finish off a season and finish off high school football.
The team finished with over 200 rushing yards and 200 passing yards with only 1 turnover. They also kept the lead over the Trojans throughout the entire game.
Honestly, it felt like every other win. It still didn't hit me. I woke up the next morning just thinking about it, and halfway through the morning I was like, oh, we won a state championship.
The victory marks Cascade Christian's 4th in program history.
I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I get to lead these guys and just, young men that I can be proud of and they'll put in their time and put in their work and and they're willing to make sacrifices and listen to us as coaches so yeah, I'm just, same thing. I'm so blessed and so fortunate to be where I'm at.
The Challengers have talent in all areas, from a consistent senior quarterback to a young but powerful running back.
We kind of looked at it like this is our year to come back, and this is, we learned from last year and we just kind of played with a chip.
The state win meant more to the team's large senior class who had not played in a state championship game.
And then coming out with the win, it was honestly a relief, a big relief. Again, because I knew it meant a lot for the seniors, and I'm really happy for them.
From Lithia and Driveway Fields,
Newswatch 12 Sports.
We don't always match, but especially on that day, it was a fun one to match a little bit.
That was, yes. Well, that wraps it up for week 14 of the football season and our first season of College Football Game Night. Thanks for sticking with us through the past few months. We are already looking forward to next year.
I'm so excited, and I can't wait. And thank you so much, Peyton, for always being a fun partner to work with.
You as well. It's been so fun. For the latest news, weather, and sports, you can head to our website at ktrv.com.
Our next newscast is tonight at 11. We hope you join us then. Have a great night.